James mentioned that he is a triple peer. I am a triple peer as well. And we just recently did a training. It wasn't a triple P training. It was a training on mommies and babies and how to establish support for moms and babies within themselves. But one of you self-disclosed about some health struggles that you had recently. And I'm thinking about like how, especially as men, I want to transition to like talking about fathers, right? Fathers that are leading their homes, leading in the community. What happens when the leader is struggling with their own challenges and they still have the expectation that they're supposed to show up? And sometimes there's like this silence where they can't say, but I'm having my own thing. Like I heard you talking about, I was having my own thing, but I have this wife. You said you have these kids. Like what about those dads that may be in the same kind of situation?
Being aware yourself of how you might be feeling, how you might be showing up. And because if you're not aware first, then you're missing something. So we talked about being co-parents and why communication is important. And in that same regard, you got to be aware of how it may come off, how you're presenting, how it shows up. And just self-awareness is so important so that you can know that I feel frustrated about this, not that. So it's not the kid that's the problem. It's not the child's mother that's the problem. It's this situation that's frustrating me. So I need to make sure that I'm aware of that so that when I show up in this space, I'm not bringing that with me and in our conversations and communication. I think that the most important thing is during those times, I could not expect my wife to be a mind reader, right? So I couldn't expect her to just assume that I was, feeling a certain way. And when I met my wife, I was on dialysis. So, I'll share kind of what I had going on. So this wasn't a situation that was going away anytime soon. And so just had to shout my wife out because she wasn't superficial at the time to think that, here's this sick guy that I'm going to have to take care of for the rest of my life. She was able to look beyond that. And we were able to be friends first, develop a relationship that continues to grow today. And eventually is what made me a father. Mm-hmm. And so I think communication was key. So if I was feeling off, if I was feeling down, if I felt like there was a time or a season that I felt like I wasn't going to be able to show up how I wanted to, I needed to be able to express that in a way. And unfortunately, we opened talking about how how men don't communicate to that, and how oftentimes we feel like we have to carry the brunt of worries and concerns on our own shoulders. And we'll take it to our friend group. We'll talk about it in a way that we feel like it's palatable for our homeboys and be like, hey, old girl tripping, she talking about yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes still then not taking ownership of the lack of communication. So even in my friend group, we challenge each other. We talk about real issues and we say, hey, have you tried this? What about this? Are you communicating the way you should? Because Black marriage is important. Black families are important. And we want to see them successful and not just talk about it in a way that's not going to be edifying or beneficial to each other. So communicating how you feel and it's give and take. And so if we're talking about in a marriage situation, there are times that I was sick and couldn't show up. Well, in the same token, there are times that my wife was in school, and she couldn't show up, how she wanted to. So we had to carry each other at times. Yeah. And so it's a partnership that we have. And whether you're co-parenting and you're not together, whether you're dating and you're not married, that communication is always going to be key. And